Lexus, where have you been? Where have you been? Welcome to the Lexus RX 350F Sport. And in this review, we're going to take it on a road trip across Mpumalanga. It's going to be beautiful. You're going to see a lot of interesting places. I'm going to tell you all about the car. And in between, I'm going to dance in a cave and come face to face with a giraffe. I have a lot of things to tell you, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2 of the Mr. How Much Road to 100,000 special. Allow us to get started. Now, usually I'd show you the drive to Mpumalanga first, but as you can see, it was already sunset. And we're still a bit far from where we're going. You see, the purpose of this review was to find 3 things. Number 1, to find a tent by a river. Number 2, to find a cave. Number 3, to find a giraffe. I'll explain why all that took time and why it's now sunset a bit later, but first, let's continue with our drive. This Lexus RX 350F Sport comes with a 2.4-liter turbo petrol engine. It is paired with an 8-speed automatic and it will do 0 to 100 in 7.6 seconds. Now, just because it has F Sport in its name doesn't mean this is a race car. The exhaust doesn't pop, it doesn't have aggressive gear changes. It's more of a comfortable car that goes really quickly when you need it to. But I'll tell you more about the drive a bit later. As we're on our way, we came past Graskop, the hometown of Brendan Praise. Shout out Brendan. This whole town has no traffic lights, just stop signs everywhere. But if you're from there, shout out to all the locals in Graskop. I am so glad we came here in the evening. The reason I was glad is because this place was closed at this time. You see, a few years ago, PA thought it would be a good idea to bungee jump. I wasn't gonna do it, but when we got up there, the guys are like, bruh, you're gonna let her jump on her own. I was like, man. So I had to do it. I had to be an endorder, man. I had to jump. This is not my element. This is not what I do. But I stood on business and I did it anyway. After driving for a while, we finally arrived at Summerfields. The plan was to arrive here early so we could see the place properly, but look at us arriving at this time. Anyway, this gives us the opportunity to take a look at this light bar. I'm a big fan of light bars. Well done, Lexus. Well done. So they took our bags, showed us around, and finally, we had arrived at our first tent. Couldn't really see much because it was dark, but we had arrived at our first tent. As I mentioned earlier, the reason we came to this tent was to find a tent by a river. Yeah, that's why we came all this way. So, here's a quick tour of the tent. Now, as you'd expect from a tent, it's a tent. But as far as tents go, this tent is nice. It has aircon, the bed is comfortable, they leave you a lot of nice stuff. Oh, you even have a kettle if you're into tea. It might be because it's cold. But the best part about this whole place is this outdoor area. You see, that tree is actually a shower, proper stuff. And then this tub is outside by the trees. But the real reason we're here is for this. Come listen to the sound of nature. There's an ocean here, listen to it. I'm joking, it's a river, but it still sounds good. We did it. We found a tent by a river, although because it's at night you can't really see it. So after checking out the tent, we went to see what else is out there and we found this fireplace. And while I get warm, let me tell you the story of what made us arrive here so late. So a few hours earlier, here we are, just chilling, sightseeing. Oh, we came across this tunnel. And while we're at this tunnel, let me tell you about the one thing I don't like about this Lexus. Listen. You know what? The tunnel makes it sound even better because this is the sweetest hooter I have ever heard. No one will take you seriously with this hooter. It's so nice. This car is so polite. Even when someone wrongs you and you're just there like, bah. It's like you're saying, sorry for cutting in front of me. Sorry for driving badly. It's so nice. It is so nice. But that is the only thing I don't like about this Lexus. That's it, the hooter. But coming back to our road trip, I want you to take a good look at this Lexus right now because this is the last time you'll see it clean. After we left this place, we finally saw a sign that mentions caves. We were so excited, but the road there was a gravel dust road. And it's even that red sand. You know that red sand that sticks? Yeah. So when we actually came to this road, we're not too sure because this car is sitting on 21-inch alloys. They are beautiful. So we got in. We're like, the car will struggle. Not Lexus, not Lexus. What I haven't told you yet is that this car has all-wheel drive. Not only that, the suspension and everything just works well together to give you a smooth ride even when you're driving on gravel. So if you're buying this car with ambitions of driving a little bit off-road, you can easily do it without any issues. So we had finally arrived at Echo Caves, and for those of you who are interested in coming here, grown-ups pay 85 Rand, but if you are 5 years old and watching this, you will enter for free. So we initially thought you just go there, you look at a cave, 5 minutes, you're done. But we found out it's actually about an hour for the whole tour. So we asked our tour guide, can we just see about 10 minutes of the place? You know, we just want to see the cave and then we're good. For the purposes of this video, let's call him the Professor. I'm calling him the Professor because, well, just listen to him.
Calcium and magnesium carbonate. Dissolving takes place, especially in a limestone caves. And after the calcium.
So as I mentioned, the plan was to stay around 10 minutes, see the caves, go out, but how could we leave when there were rocks shaped like the head of an elephant? Looking at this, you might think it's slimy, but it's not. It's like a rock. There's water there, but it's a rock. Proper stuff. Hi guys, welcome to a review of a cave. Yeah, we're doing caves now. Proper stuff. We have rocks and more rocks, but it does echo. Support Rocker YouTube. It's the right thing to do. I can tell you now, even though we didn't finish the whole tour, we're here for about 40 minutes. And as you remember, the plan was 10 minutes. Hey, Lexus, what's happening? So I said to PA, let's go, brides. Yeah, we spent too much time here. It was too nice by the caves. If you ever have an opportunity, go visit Echo Caves. It will be worth it. So we had accomplished our goal of finding a cave. And when we're done, we decided, hey, before we go to the tent, let's go see God's window. Let's go see the portals. Let's go see the 3 roundabouts. So after driving through that dust road again, we cleaned our rear windscreen and we're on our way. The one thing about this province, there are so many places to see. So at this point, we just wanted to see everything, but we decided to start with the 3 Lexus. We decided to start with the 3 roundabouts. It is genuinely one of the most beautiful places on earth. Yes, the whole planet. If you've never been here, check it out. The pictures, the videos do not do it justice. Speaking of pictures, this is a picture of me and PA here a few years ago. So I thought it would be cool to come and see it again. When we're done, we jump back in the Lexus to continue with our road trip. While we're here, let me tell you about some of its features. You get adaptive cruise control, you get lane keep assist, you have a pre-collision warning system, you have pre-collision braking, you have 10 airbags, and that view is beautiful. In terms of power, this Lexus produces 205 kilowatts and 430 Newton meters of torque. That is a beautiful view. That is a beautiful view. Speaking of beautiful views, as you can see, the sun was setting, but we're determined to go to the portals and God's window. And while we're on our way there, I'd like to just mention that this F-Sport actually has tuned suspension that is set up for proper handling. And this car handles. It drives very well. It grips the road and it goes. Speaking of going, because we left the 3 roundabouts so late, both the portals and God's window had closed by the time we got there, and so we didn't go there. We instead decided to just drive straight to the tent, and as you can see, this brings us to where our review initially started. And now that you're all caught up, let's go back to the Boma and continue with the road trip. The next day, we took a few seconds to warm up the geyser, and I decided to take this video for you. Our checklist was going well. We had found a cave, we had found a tent by a river. I mean, there's even that young crocodile just chilling there randomly. But before I continue, one thing about Lexus drivers, they'll always park together. Hey, other Lexus, what's happening? So from here, we had one more thing to do. That is to find a giraffe. But before we did that, we had to stop by Hazyview to get some refreshments. Shout out to all the locals in Hazyview. And from here, we continued on with our road trip to White River. The reason we're going to White River is because PA had found this place called Ndula Lodge. And in Ndula Lodge, they have a tent. Not only do they have a tent, but they also have giraffes, which is just what I was looking for. But when I went out to try and find a giraffe, I didn't see them on that day, but I did see this beautiful view. And it also gave me this opportunity to take videos of this Lexus, and as you've just seen, it has a proper panoramic sunroof. While we're here, if you've never seen a Lexus engine, this is what it looks like. On the way back, I spotted a couple of Springboks. And now that the sun had set, this is a good time for me to show you the ambient lighting. In total, there are 64 colors for you to choose from, but I'd like Lexus to make it a little bit brighter. The next day, we woke up to go and get some cupcakes, and guess what? It actually happened. On the way back, I found a giraffe. I was so excited. Yo, giraffes are tall, guys. Here's a good one. Why don't giraffes play hide and seek? Because they are always spotted. You know, because they are spotted. Anyway, after all that, we decided to leave and go back home. So after topping up the petrol, we went to White River Crossing to get some refreshments. Oh, shout out to all the locals in White River. Anyway, next thing I knew, someone is looking at jerseys. I didn't mind though, because it gave me the opportunity to park my proper car next to another proper car. From there, we decided to drive back home. On the way, we came across this toll gate. 118 Rand. No. Anyway, here's the interior. You have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's supposed to be wireless, but I was not able to connect to it wirelessly. One thing I do like is that you have proper dials for your air conditioning, and even the shortcut buttons aren't too hard to use. Over there are your two USB Type-C ports. In there is your wireless charging and your other USB ports. Those are your two cup holders, and if you'd like to change your gears, this is how you do it. Lexus decided to be unique, but after a while you do get used to it. As we move on to our multifunction steering wheel, leather wrapped, heated, and it also has pedal shifts. And this is a quick look at your front seats, which are both heated and ventilated. On the topic of seats, let's move on to the back, where you find your own privacy curtain. Proper stuff. Legroom, knee room is plenty. So much space over here. A lot of thought was actually put into this back seat. You have concealed cup holders, and for anyone sitting here, they will not complain, because in addition to having their own climate control, they also get heated and ventilated seats as well. Well done, Lexus. Well done. And finally, we come to the boot. As you've just seen, there is an electric tailgate. The boot is big enough for most things. You also get a proper spare wheel in case of an emergency. And in terms of capacity, it is 612 liters. Wait for it. Wait for it. Lexus. And this brings us to a total cost of ownership, which is powered by Hippo. The Lexus RX 350 F Sport comes in at 1,574,100 Rand. On finance over 6 years at 12% interest, you'll pay 30,774 Rand, and a full tank of petrol will cost you 1,637 Rand. Using my own profile, I went to Hippo and I got a quote of around 4,600 Rand. If you'd like to get your own quote and see what premium you'd get for your car, be sure to check out Hippo. I'll leave a link in the description. After adding all those numbers together, our total cost of ownership comes to 37,011 Rand. One of the more impressive things about this Lexus is the maintenance plan. You get a 7-year, 105,000 kilometer maintenance plan and a 7-year, 105,000 kilometer warranty. Now, before I end this review, there are a couple of things I didn't mention. Claimed fuel consumption is 8.7 liters to the 100, but during the time I had it, I averaged around 10.5 liters to the 100. Number 2, you get a 360-degree view camera. Number 3, the build quality on this Lexus, excellent. Everything in here feels solid. It feels reliable and it is built to last. Number 4, I've decided to name this car Lerato. Number 5, after seeing that giraffe, I've decided I really want to go to Kruger National Park to see some lions. Actually, we should have gone while we're in White River, but that's a story for another day. For now, I just hope you enjoyed part 2 of the Road to 100,000 series. Part 3 is coming up next. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, take care. This is the cave dance.
No music.
This is the cave dance. Hey, you'll find a DJ is gonna take this and make it a song. This is the cave dance.